Good morning. It's 5:30 a.m. and you're going to work with me today. I don't schedule my days, but they fill up pretty fast. So let's see what's going to happen today. Typical day at work. This is the beginning of April 2000. All right, 7 a.m. I'm out at a site where we're going to be knocking down the house behind us. We got to get all the asbestos out of it. I want to bring you on the inside. The first thing that I want to tell you is I don't want you to get intimidated by projects like this. If you're in the lawn care, if you're beginning out in landscaping, something like this can feel overwhelming. There was a time when I knew nothing about this stuff. But slowly you're going to build up to stuff like this, and I want you just to keep at it. I've got to gain access from here, this street that I'm on, to that house so I can rebuild the patio. This is common area. It can't be destroyed. It can't be altered. That's where plywood comes in handy. All right, I'm at a site where we do on average about $90,000 of maintenance, new installation per year for this townhome development. Took me 6 years. I don't hide this fact. Took me 6 years to get a 2-year college degree. But the reason I'm able to land contracts like this is because success doesn't care if I have a piece of paper that says I graduated from college or not. With that, I want to caution you about not going to college. If you have the opportunity to go to college, if you're in high school looking at this, do so by every means possible. But I also want to challenge you for a moment. Instead of going to college and having your mom and dad pay the bill, I want you to go to college and try to pay the bill on your own, if at all possible. You will learn as much fiscal responsibility by taking on the challenge of paying for college yourself as you will learn actually in college studying. You're also going to appreciate your classes more. You're going to appreciate everything that college has to offer when you pay for it. And that's what the real world is. So if you're in high school watching this, go to college. Please do so. But if you don't have that opportunity, understand that it's not going to close a single door on you. If you don't go to college, success doesn't care. It doesn't care about that piece of paper. It cares about what's in your heart and what's in your head and what's on your feet, your boots. You got to get up, you got to put your pants on, you got to go to work. Those are the true definers of success. All right, I'm on site. I'm with Lisa and Don, and we are looking at access to removing this swimming pool. This one is, to say the least, a very restricted site to get into. The reason is we have this building, which is completely blocking our access point. The only way to get into their site is by removing the building behind me, or doing something that I recommend, which is going actually through the neighbor's yard. It requires cooperation from, what, 2 parties, Lisa?
Yes.
2 parties. So we've got to get access from the White House right there. We've got to gain access through their yard, but to gain access through their yard, we've got to actually use the other house's driveway. So we're going to go over and check with both properties and see if we can do it. So to gain access to the site, we cut through this yard and we hook up to their driveway. So it requires 3 people to do this one site. Now I've also offered to do the negotiating for these guys if they're uncomfortable with doing that, or they can do it themselves. I've done it many times, but this is the swimming pool we're going to be removing for them. And you can see right there, that's the shed. That's the only point in. This point over here, there's no access whatsoever. So we either take that shed down or we cut through their yard to gain access to the site. It makes more sense to cut through that yard to gain access to the site. So we're gonna see what we can accomplish on this one. So you lived in Switzerland, and yeah, that was kind of fun?
You know, it's good in some ways. You know, it's a lot different than going on vacation.
Yeah.
You know, when you go on vacation, you're in a hotel and everything, and you have to live there, and you have to go grocery shopping, and of course, everybody speaks French. I was in the French part of Switzerland, so.
Oh, how is that?
Well, you know.
Are they polite? Because
you know, there's similarities to Minnesota. They, Switzerland, people, it's so expensive. People have, I mean, homes have been in the family for generations.
Yeah.
So all the generations have friends in generations. So, you know, so it's a very insular community, kind of like Minnesota, right?
If you're an outsider, they
you're
don't.
an outsider.
They don't have hugs and
It's
kisses
not like
for
they
you.
welcome you.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
of course, you know, the language barrier is an additional
They
complication.
didn't find your accent fascinating.
No. For some reason they didn't.
No. Imagine that.
Yeah.
So what we're going to be doing for Roger is we're going to take out the swimming pool. We're going to remove the fence. And then we got to catch up to that opening, this opening right here. And then we're after the fact, you okay if I put you on camera, Roger? After the fact, we're going to design, because you have a lot of outdoor furniture from Switzerland now, we're going to design a patio we're going to actually lay out his furniture. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a garden hose. I love the garden hose trick. And then what we do is we put the garden hose out, and we put your furniture in place, and then we know exactly how much patio you can actually use. There's no guessing. And then out there we're going to build an outdoor fire pit because he's got a retaining wall on the backdrop. And we're going to use that. And we can see that we're not underneath the drip line of the tree. We've got a nice, just kind of a nice backdrop that he's going to be able to look out from his living room, see the fire pit, come off from his main deck, and we're going to connect it up with just a 3-foot sidewalk. So coming off from here, we're just going to have a 3-foot sidewalk. The reason we want to connect it is we want it to feel like it's part of the house. If we separate it, I really don't think that, although visually it's going to be there, it's just the feel that it gives. So connecting it's going to be a strong point, although it's not necessary. When you see the finished product, it makes a huge impact. Really, I mean, it does. And we also discussed using gravel out there because, you know, we have other options, but on a fire pit like that, you know, we could make it look really nice. We could use a blue trapstone to go against the shading of the house, but you got the issues with you on your feet, the gravel. It's just not as inviting as having a nice brickstone patio that blends in. And we can use charcoal gray out here, or we could contrast a little bit with the color of your house, and we could catch up some of the colors of the deck, because I see you've got, looks like a kind of a reddish cedar color with the white. So we could pull the red out of the deck and hook that into the landscaping, or we can pull the color off your house and go with blue. So we can bring out a few samples and we can kind of lay that out and get a really good feel for what we're going to be doing before we proceed. So we're taking this project one step at a time. The first step is to demo, remove, then lay the garden hose out. So we're gonna demo and remove all this. Was it $6,000? I think I told you $6,000. We're gonna demo and remove all this for $6,000, haul it away, and then we're gonna do phase 2, which is laying everything out. But we're not gonna have a break in the action. That's the critical thing. Even though we're gonna be doing this in 2 phases, we're not leaving your job and coming back. It's one right after another, and just continuing it on. So we'll be working hand in hand, and I don't know, I think it's going to be a fun project.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, to say I didn't have a plan for today this morning was kind of a lie, because I did have a plan. I actually have about 46 open hardscape leads that I was going to hopefully call. And what I wanted to do today was at least film 1 or 2 sales calls and include that in the video, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get back to the office, because the phone has been ringing, my cell phone has been ringing nonstop, and customers that have my cell phone number have a priority, because it means I've already vetted them, which means I've already made sure that they have the money, they're ready to move on a job, and they're ready to sign on the dotted line. By doing that, I save myself a lot of time going out to different projects. You know, a good example is right here is a $100 deposit. That last job I just looked at, it was only a $6,000 demo, but it also has over $15,000 worth of paver work, sod work that he's already verbally committed to.
And so, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get to the office and give you guys a couple sales calls, which I really wanted to do because I firmly believe that the sales is the heart and soul of the company, and I want you guys to wrap your head around the fact that as soon as you get really good at doing sales, you're going to have way more work than you can ever handle. All right, meeting with Brian right now. We are going to be re-landscaping your front yard, Brian. And so I want to make sure we got it. We're on the same page. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be pulling tree 1, 2, that tree behind it, this tree. We're going to be yanking. So we got 4 trees.
I live in Plymouth, and my wife and I moved into a house here in November, and the landscaping in the front of our house needs some re-edging, and we'd like to remove some of the shrubs and mulch and lay down new rock and such in the front. And Mike suggested you guys might be someone that would be able to work in the West Metro. So if you are able, if you can give me a call back at your earliest convenience, my phone number is...
Okay, so he's inside right now getting the down payment. Even for a small job like that, I require $100 down. One of the things I want to talk to you about is even driving the Rusty Rocket today, I'm still able to close all these jobs because it's about building rapport. On top of that, I'm wearing my competition's sweatshirt. Not even technically my competition, but one of the guys from YouTube sent me his sweatshirt. So technically I'm wearing another company's clothes. I'm driving a Rusty Rocket and I'm still able to close them because of the rapport. You know, you're going to hear me say time and time again, you got to make a good first impression, and part of that's going to be the way you look and the initial impression that your vehicle gives off. Today I was able to sign 3 jobs for sure, and a 4th one that is probably going to confirm driving the Rusty Rocket and not even wearing my own clothes. So it's proof that you can do it, but it does give you a bigger initial hurdle to get over, and I don't want you guys to have hurdles to get over. I want you guys to be able to go out there and have everything fall in line so you can quickly and easily sell your jobs and move on down the road. So that's why you're going to hear my podcasts and other videos where I talk about try to make that good first impression, try to have your car clean, try to be dressed appropriately, because it's just going to open more doors and make life that much easier for you. All right, I talked to you a little bit about the importance of impressions and how you can overcome, initial impressions. It also depends on the level of importance of the project. And let's be frank, the bigger the project, the more important that first impression is. Here's a great example. I'm going out to meet with a board association on a massive retaining wall project. We're talking about a 2 to 3 year scope of work, probably coming in at a little bit under $100,000. Am I taking the Rusty Rocket? Not a chance. Are they going to see my car? Probably not. But if they do, it's got to be a work vehicle. So it's either going to be the Mustang, or in this case, it's going to be easier for me to grab one of the work trucks. They're new, they're clean, they look official. I'm going to grab that. Am I wearing my competitor's sweatshirt anymore? Nope. It's a button-up collar. Button-up collar, plus it also has the Versalock name, Versalock logo, which is what I'm going to be talking to them about. I also have brochures. I also have the official brochures from Versalock, which they highlight our work in their brochures, and I can point that out at the townhome board meeting, or at the board association meeting. Those are all, I need every tool in my tool belt. I need every weapon possible to make sure that I come away with this contract. And the most important weapon possible is your ability to effectively communicate. And this is something that you perfect outside of the job, where the monies are, when the dollar bills are not on the table. So do I feel confident about what's going to happen? I do, because I've taken the time to go to BNI in the past. I've taken the time to go to Toastmasters religiously without ever meeting. I force myself, I don't enjoy it, but I force myself to go into these contests, speaking contests. Do I want to do it? No. But when it comes time for me to meet with a panel of people and I have $100,000 on the line, I want to go in feeling confident. So the Rusty Rocket stays home. I change trucks. I dress up a little bit. I've practiced outside of where it's important. So now when I go into this meeting, I can nail it, or at least know that I've done the absolute best I can and feel confident about what I'm doing. That's my day today. That meeting's at 5:30. I'm probably not going to be out of there till 6:30, 7 o'clock. I'll let you know how it goes after I'm done. Wish me luck. 7 o'clock, the day is done. Wrapped the day up with a meeting with the Townhome Association. Went well. Pretty big project, at least a $100,000 job. Sounds like I'm a very strong contender for it. Keep my fingers crossed, hopefully I get it. I don't know if videos like this help you guys out. Hopefully they do. I don't know how they can, to be honest with you. I don't know what you guys get out of these things, but you seem to like them, so I make them for you guys. Hope this has helped you out. Love you guys. I want nothing but the very best for you guys. I try to share some thoughts during the day. Maybe maybe that was good, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. It is what it is. God bless. Take care, each and every one of you guys. All right, it's 7 a.m. in the morning. And this house is slotted to be demoed. Before we can actually take it down, we've got to get all the asbestos removed. We've been working on this project for over the last 10 days, getting all the paperwork set and ready. And
we're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
all right, it's 7 a.m. in the morning, and we're going to be knocking down this gorgeous house that you see behind me. All right, it's 7 a.m. in the morning.